Welcome back on Wednesday with Dr. Michael BOADI NYAMEKYE. As I said before we went for the break, we've been talking about capacity building over the past couple of weeks, and today we are continuing with the discussion. But we are turning our attentions to, as part of continuation, to the subject of upgrades and also updates. Okay, upgrades and updates. And like I said, I'm sure you'll be wondering what an upgrade for a person is, and then what an update for a person is. So without wasting much time, we would like to go straight into the discussion. Baba, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And it's good to have you.
Honored.
It's always great and exciting to have you.
Honored.
In fact,
I'm honored. Thank you, sir.
For the past 2-3 weeks, there's been a lot to learn. I've learned a great deal, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Your tea is a customized tea. Really nice.
I'm wearing me. Well, somebody in church does it, so okay. I think it's about one patronizing in the products of my own. Okay. And not only that, also promoting. So I'm not only patronizing, I'm also promoting what they do. Okay. And I think it's beautiful. They do that for everybody. So wow. if they paint actually.
Oh, okay. So it's actual painting.
It's actual painting. So I'm wearing the painted shirt.
Wow.
It's called poly paint.
Okay. Poly paint.
Poly paint, yes.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. Well, folks, so straight away we are getting to the discussion, and then we want to look at, Papa, we want to, as you mentioned, I think a week ago, you wanted to help us understand what there is and what it means to have an upgrade, and also to update. But as far as I know that upgrades are usually referred to, or updates are referred to, apps on phones, on computers, and all that. How does it come into play with regards to human development and building capacity?
Well, whatever you call the computers and softwares are all almost like mirror images of our minds. Okay. It is what the mind could process. That's what they turned it or converted into either a software, an application, or a program. And in life too, you need that in terms of either getting into a new field or acquiring new skills, even though you are in an existing field already. So either go into an existing field or into, say, you can say an existing market or a new market. Okay. Now, if you are in an existing market, what do you do? Or what you do in there is your updates. Okay.
What you do within
there,
the market?
Within that space will be your updates. Okay. Getting new information, updating. I was going to use the same word, but getting new information, finding out how the systems, connecting like links and nodes, and then find out how they work. But if you are not in that field already, and you want to move in there, or it's a new area for you, we can say that you are upgrading, you are moving your grades up. So let's say that whenever you move up, not with, say, something that exists already. If it exists already, then you can say you are doing an update. Okay. An update. Okay. But if it doesn't exist, then you are doing an upgrade. But we will come back to look at it in its entirety. For instance, if you are somebody that let's say get any field, probably you are a carpenter, and you understand carpentry works, at least the basic carpentry skills, or you are into catering, you understand the ones that you know. You can upgrade yourself by learning new things that you don't know.
That's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade.
Okay.
Then within the new things you've learned, you can tweak it to suit, you can customize, localize, you can, whether you are localizing or urbanizing, but the same thing, then we say that you are updating it. Let me use practical examples that will help. Yeah. Again, as I said, maybe you are into carpentry. Yours was to do the normal benches or table and chairs for students or for pupils. Then you decided, okay, with this, the kind of financial flow that I want, I'm not getting it with this. Okay. So maybe I want to get into roofing. Now, bear in mind, the carpenter who does furniture is not the same who does roof.
That's right.
They are two different carpentry
Sure.
works.
Sure.
So moving from, say, furniture, normal regular furniture, to say roofing carpentry is an upgrade.
An upgrade, okay.
Now, if they do, you learned the V shape of roof,
Okay.
and you realize that now they do and put do
Designs.
roof.
Okay.
They do a lot of things now.
Yeah.
They can do
All
some
kinds
that
of
have
names.
shapes and all
That's
of that.
right, yeah.
Then with that, you can say that the person is updating.
Updating, okay. Okay.
So the movement and the tweaks of all of that.
Okay.
But in capacity building, what we mean is that every human being, even if you know your field already, you need to constantly update.
Update.
You need to constantly update. For instance, you have moved, so you are in a field. Maybe you are cooking. You have to constantly update because the taste of people change.
Okay.
The taste change. The people become more sophisticated.
That's right.
They are more exposed than before. So all of that will mean that you have to constantly be in that realm or area of constantly updating, finding out new trends, new information, fixing the problems that you are having. So all of that. Don't forget that when a software is updating, it's normally fixing the problems that it's encountering.
That's right.
By reason of the deployment of the new, say, application. And so if you have also deployed a new application and the trends, certain things are happening that you are unable to accommodate, you need to adapt. So you are adapting is what we have coined to say that, okay, you are simply updating. in your field of endeavor.
But so with upgrades and also does it apply to all spheres of life?
Everything, even in ministry, it applies. I would say that if you're a minister of the gospel, you are called a high calling. You start and you move up. You move up. You get to a place where you see that you have found your place or your rhythm.
Okay.
Once you find it, it's now your duty to update regularly.
Okay.
Like I said, there are modern trends. There are modern ways of doing things. Let's say that you were only okay. So when I started ministry in the 90s, in the 90s, we used to do one-on-one evangelism, whereby you meet people probably on the street, or people playing draft, or anything under a tree, wherever. You approach them and you greet them and you tell them you want to share the gospel with them. That was how it used to be. Whether it's one-on-one, you get to a place where a woman is selling rice or it's just selling food, and probably the place is not busy. You approach the woman, you share the gospel with the woman. You get to a place where people are playing, you approach them, you do that with them. Sometimes you wait till they finish playing football, then you gather all the footballers, then you preach them. That was in the 90s. In the 90s. Now people don't stay outside. They don't sit under the trees. Of course, so the world has moved on.
Okay.
So if you were an evangelist then, and you don't upgrade, I'm not saying update.
Not update.
You don't upgrade.
Okay.
You are going to miss out on them. That means that technically you don't see that they've moved, and so you move with them.
Okay.
You're going to miss them.
Okay.
Now, after you've even noticed upgrade, you've noticed that they have moved and you've gotten there. Now the updating will be you finding out what medium works.
Okay.
Is it the social media? Is it the regular media or traditional media? Is it which of them works?
Okay.
Do I still do charts? Because those times we will have charts and we'll go out and share.
Distribute,
Is it still workable now?
Okay.
Is it cost effective? Because instead of you printing, you can just have the designer design it for you and you shoot it via WhatsApp, via Telegram. But so what I mean is that the world has moved, and it applies to everything.
Okay.
Applies to everything. Every teacher learned how to use Google Meet and Zoom during COVID.
Yeah.
So you have your information, you know what you have to teach, but you have to adapt.
Papa, with that one, would that be termed as an upgrade or an update?
Which one?
Using softwares to teach. For example, using Zoom, Google Meet, and all that.
We all teachers know that the world had moved on. All teachers know. We all knew.
Okay.
So we will consider it as an update.
Safe to say that. And folks, for those of you who don't know, he's not only a preacher, he's also a college professor. And so, of course, he would always want to get the back of his colleagues in that sector. So, but having spoken about that one, regards to upgrading, moving up, and also trying to find out what works within the level that you have moved into, that would be the update for us. I want to find out, in most cases, for example, with entrepreneurs, I understand a little bit of products and how their life cycle is. It goes to a certain stage. At a point, it stays there and it begins to now decline. For someone, there's someone that sent a question that he's been in the business for long. He used to enjoy a lot of sales. Now, the people's tastes, just as we're saying, have changed. They are actually moved away entirely. Unfortunately, he didn't really specify, but they said that they've actually moved from there. In such a scenario, what does a person do? Does he have to abandon, acquire a new one, or within that still follow what they are looking for and offer them?
Well, that one, the person has to come and pay us for us to...
Consultants.
Well, if you look at the product life cycle, every stage will determine the strategy that you deploy.
Okay.
Introductory, growth, maturity, decline. It's just like that. It goes like that. And every product will definitely, save of course you are in a monopolistic market, whereby the people have no option. Okay. But if in a competitive environment or in a free market, that will be the trend. Even if you had a competitive advantage, you can't enjoy it for long. Others will come in. When your product is, or say business product, is at the decline stage, what do? You can either diversify. You can diversify, or you can also, with the same product, you can enter new markets.
But how do you mean when you say diversify?
You can move away from that product line, especially if the people are not, like I keep saying, the business of a business is to do business. So you are not in a business to lose money.
Okay.
So if you are doing the business and you are not making any gains, why do you stay there? It wouldn't make sense to do that. And so oftentimes you can either diversify, you can move away from that. Sometimes too, you don't have to move away, you have to rebrand.
Okay.
Because there are environments that people just get fed up, or they get tired or bored easily.
Okay.
So you have to do probably repackaging, retweaking, adjustments here and there. You have to do a few touches here and there, and you can push it back into the same market.
Okay.
You can also adopt, say, promotional strategies to promote that same brand. Or you can get into new markets, the same product but get into new markets. Maybe the people have moved away in Accra, but it won't be the same in Kumasi.
Okay.
Or if you go to Nairobi, it will be hailed. If you go to Ouagadougou, if you go to Kinshasa, if you go to Abuja or Lagos or Owerri, it will be celebrated. What I mean is that you can either send it to a new market. Okay. We have strategies like that, where you can either enter a new market with an existing product, or you can you can tweak it here and there.
But having said all that, the understanding I gather is that means that you need to do a lot of some level of research before you be able to.
But how do you do business without research?
But
you don't have to get into any business without research.
Okay.
No matter the level of research, you have to know You have to have your data. Your empirical evidence must back the fact that your business is going to be fruitful, profitable, and you're not going to waste time, energy, and resources.
Okay.
Because you are not here forever.
But
so why do you waste time?
Sorry that I needed to just chip in this so that you answer it holistically for us. Has that been, would you say that that has been the biggest challenge or bane to businesses, especially in Ghana?
Biggest I won't be able to say because they haven't consulted me to let me know what their problems are. However, if you look at how people get into business in our part of the world, it's safe to assume that. Because a lot of the people, when they hear, oh, this business, there is money in it, then they go in there.
Okay.
Without really knowing how the money comes.
Okay.
What do you need to put in? What is even the minimum capital required? I mean, you have people who got into a business and they got very frustrated because the person that was telling them that there is money in it probably has 50 of it.
Okay.
And so when one fails, 49 will compensate for that. And so he won't feel it.
Okay.
You are entering with one. So when it breaks down, you feel it. What I mean is that you don't go into any business with half-baked information.
Okay.
That's something you don't do.
Okay.
You don't get into a business without any information. In fact, your marketing research, every serious business will have a research, an R&D, research and development department.
But that's not the case for a lot of businesses.
I get that. But before you get, you see, there is an Akam proverb that says that okay. So you don't get into anything without preparation.
Okay.
That's what it really means.
Okay.
You have to prepare, have the requisite knowledge and skill before you get in there. Because like I said, life is not a game of chance.
Yeah.
It's not.
So you need to have your research.
You have to have your everything. Everything must be on point and in order. You don't just leave things to happen
before you get in there. But how about businesses that are, let's say, not so big?
No, you are small, but it doesn't stop you from researching.
Okay.
What stops you from, let's say that you're a student, you want to sell to your mates.
Okay.
You want to bring your mates lunch.
Or the carpenter that you used initially.
Let me even stay with the student.
Okay.
Because a lot of students, maybe carpenters are not watching me now. So let me use the students. So let's say you're a student and you want to sell food to your mates in school or in class. What stops you from finding out what they like? By the time you realize you have gotten majority of the people who say that I want to do banku for lunch or kinky for lunch, and others telling you that I will be fine with rice. So that is what you want to do. You don't have the expertise to cook the banku, tilapia, kinky, the fish, or the rice. So what do? There is another who sells it. So can you arrange that instead of, say, your colleagues, whether school or the workplace, going to buy food, you rather organize the food for them. And if the food is 25, you take 30. And you are making 5 cedis out of it. But you found out what they wanted. Oh, I know somebody, you said you like yokegai. Oh, Gabins, eh? There is one lady that I know.
Go back.
Her Gabins is top draw.
Okay.
I think do you mind if I buy some for you?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, why not? Well, for her, a plate is 30. Oh, okay, that's fine. I can do that. Well, a plate is 20 or 25. Then your markup is a 5 cedi. What I mean is that you don't even have to have money. Like I keep telling people, there are some businesses you don't need money to do.
Yeah.
You need the right presentation to get them done.
Okay. So research into whatever you are doing is a very vital ingredient.
You can scale up.
Upgrade.
You can scale up.
Okay.
But if you are starting, at least your immediate environment, what they need, even the price that they are comfortable with.
Okay.
There are places, if you sell a bottle of water for 100 cedis, they won't complain. Because they are not price sensitive. There are places too, even if you put 50 pesos on the bottle, they are going to have an issue with you.
Right.
Because they are very sensitive to price. You have to know your audience or your target market. So some of those things, it doesn't matter whether you are a small business or a big business. It doesn't matter. If you are going in there to make money, you should have your information and you should have the proper knowledge about it.
But I would like to find out, what do you think? Of course, you are in business, you have lots of business that you are handling. What stops people, especially with smaller businesses, from trying to do this, so to speak, basic research before? What stops us doing that?
Sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes it's fear of cost. Maybe it's expensive to do research. Or sometimes it's even fear of rejection. That if I'm going to ask them, what if when I ask them, people don't give me the right information or things like this. Sometimes too, people are afraid to even ask questions because they think that when they ask, their ideas are going to be stolen.
Sure.
So in our part of the world, but you have to, it's almost like telling you that God will give you the end results and not show you the process. And it's the same thing. When you are going to even discuss your business with somebody, you should tell the person what is basic.
Okay.
But what really gets the business done, you should keep it. That should be your trade secret. Okay. So some of those things. But no matter the size of the business, research is
very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. Then again too, but in some businesses, I'm trying to find something much more detailed and in asking, because in as much as you want to do research, you can have a scenario whereby the people have gotten accustomed to a certain taste. For example, in a restaurant, this is how they like it. In a scenario like that, can you decide to upgrade?
Oh, definitely. So you do what they like. You do what they like.
What if the people want it just as it is?
Yeah, that's exactly. Most of the tastes are acquired. So do it as it is. And as you gain their trust and confidence, you can now start telling them, oh, we
break. The discussion is going on. It's getting deeper and deeper. A lot to learn today on the show. I'll start with a question. I just want to quickly move into some of the questions. From Remy Asante is asking that, Papa, what about those of us in government work, government employment? How do we upgrade?
Maybe Remy needs to update.
Okay.
Find out how she can, with the same things that she's doing, how she can get things done better, more efficiently. You see, an update is for efficiency.
Okay.
An update is to make you more efficient.
Okay.
So when a system is updating, is to improve the efficiency of the application.
Okay.
So let's say you use the cutlass to read. An update will be using the mower to do that.
To become more efficient.
So that you are more efficient. So we are looking at a more efficient way of handling the task that you are assigned. In such a straitjacket environment, we are not saying that she should move from probably her level to occupy the chief director level. That's not what we are saying should happen. But what she does, the same area, what she does, she should find ways of getting things done more efficiently.
Okay.
Can
someone update without necessarily upgrading, or can the person also upgrade and not update?
Wherever you are, if you are getting things done efficiently, you're already updating.
Okay.
You're already updating. Even if you are a barber and so if you're a barber and you used to use, like our time, there were no machines. It was just the blade and the comb. And so if you are learning how to do it, sometimes you, I remember those times, if you go to secondary school, everybody has to learn how to be a barber so that you make side money of your mates.
Did you?
Oh, ask Wapito and the rest. I used to give them a haircut.
Really?
I used them to learn how to give a haircut. And when I was learning, the hair will never be even. So it's very normal.
Okay.
But and so let's say you used to use the blade and the comb.
The comb, yeah.
An upgrade will be when, say, the machines came and you learn how to use the machine.
Okay.
You move from one level
to another. Okay.
But now you know how to use the machines. But you don't know how to use the machines to even write.
Okay. Design hairstyles, draw, like do somebody's that's right, image and all that.
Draw. So after you know how to use the machine, you have moved from just blade and comb
to
machines. That's an upgrade.
Okay.
But even though you upgraded, you didn't know how to do the designs, drawing in the hair.
Yes, right.
So after you do that, that is the same machine work. That is an update of what you have done. So you've moved, but you have updated what you do when it comes to that.
But would you say that the upgrade will always precede the update?
Normally, the first instance of an upgrade is an automatic update. The first instance of an upgrade is an automatic update. As in when you moved away from the comb and the blade
to machinery. It meant that you have actually updated.
You have upgraded, and it was an update as well.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because it's something. It was within the school. Now the new trends came.
Okay.
Because when they started using the machine to cut the hair and all of that, they weren't doing the designs and drawing faces and writing somebody's name in there. That was in there.
Okay.
So as at that time, that was the upgrade / the updates that had come.
Okay.
But when you upgraded, you needed, people were now doing writing, drawing, hat and all of that, and knife and guns in there. so that in doing that, you'll be
Okay.
Updating the knowledge that you have.
All
to
right.
get
All
things
right.
done.
So I mean, I'm today. It's more like I feel like I'm in a class and I'm learning as well. So that means that if the person hadn't acquired the machine but was still using the blade and the comb, but was able to do the designs, it means that would have been an update.
That would have been an update, not an upgrade.
Okay.
So would have used the blade to still do the design.
Okay. All right.
So in that realm, he has updated his blade usage.
Okay. All right. Okay.
He has become more efficient with the use of the blade.
Okay. All right. But is an update the same as acquisition of maybe polishing your skill?
An upgrade.
An upgrade.
An upgrade is the same as the acquisition of a new one.
A new one. But how about polishing the skill? Would that be an upgrade?
If it's already there, you have the base, you are just making yourself, polishing will be the same thing that you're saying, will make you more efficient. And so, of course, it will be an update.
Okay. All right. I have this question from a gentleman. Okay. It's an inbox. He says he doesn't want his name to be mentioned. But he's asking, he sings. And he's asking that how can he upgrade or update?
He sings.
Yeah, he sings. Yeah.
Don't mention my name.
He said he doesn't want.
No, well, it depends.
He sings and he wants to know how can he get an update.
You know, we spoke about capacity. That's what has brought all these things.
Yeah.
So, which kind of singer does he want to be? If he was here, I would have asked questions. You don't just answer questions in isolation.
Okay.
Which kind of singer does he want to be? Is it, say, gospel or secular? Or say Christian music?
I'm sure in his case, I'm
spiritual
sure it's
music,
because
secular music. Now, if it is even Christian or gospel, we have different types. We have the Ohima Mercy gospel. We have the Obapa Christi gospel. We have the Dinah Hamilton gospel.
I didn't know the same.
Oh yes, but look at the direction of songs and music.
All right.
We have the Sonny Badu music. We have the Joe Metal. We have the Joshua Notres. We have the Akesibrim Pons. We have MOGs. We have the Ike Nanos. We have the Nana Tufos. We have different kinds of gospel. Or you want to move Afrocentric. You want to do pop gospel. You want to do rap gospel. You want to do the Nigerian rhythm. The traditional Ghanaian high life undertones. Or you want to do R&B, gospel R&B.
Okay.
So that will determine what you need.
Okay.
So let's say that you want to do, you want to follow after, say, the footsteps of A. That is when we will know that, oh, with this, then you really need an upgrade.
Okay.
Oh, no, you have a similar style. So probably you just need polishing. That's the update you were talking about.
Okay.
Polishing, maybe more voice training, more of this, more of that. And oftentimes, most of these creative arts, those people, what they need is intentional following and almost like soaking the person. So the person you want to really pick after, constantly listen to their music and start singing like them.
Is that what you are calling soaking? Is that what the soaking means?
Soak.
Okay.
You soak, you just keep on listening, keep on. You listen until you start becoming.
Like the person.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had wanted us to shift gears, but there's a question here that someone said, Papa, please, how can one update or upgrade when the person has both bachelor's degree in political science and master's certificate in management and administration and still unemployed?
That is a different question altogether. The person is looking for employment or looking for upgrading to do what?
Maybe he feels that the reason he's not getting employed is because maybe he hasn't upgraded.
But what the person has done is, what courses again? Political science and what?
Political science, a bachelor's degree in political science, and he did a master's in management and administration, but still unemployed.
Well, because
Nana Abnan
Nana Abnan knows that even, you see, the fields, especially in our part of the world where people don't like paying good salary. They don't mind bringing their cousins and brothers to do management, but masters in management and administration. Oh, they will manage their businesses. Most people will want to manage their businesses. A few people really understand what a professional will bring on board. Very few people. So what Nana is saying, maybe is Nana, I think I should know the person you are talking about. So, well, I wish her all the best on the job market. Okay. Once she gets into active employment, then we can look at efficiency. Okay. If she sees that she lacks certain skills, that is when we can talk about the updates. Okay. But she's already upgraded herself.
There's a question that is also almost like that. The person is asking, how does an unemployed person get an upgrade or an update? The person is unemployed.
Update is for efficiency.
Okay.
So if you are not doing anything, are you getting efficiency in sleeping or in being idle?
Yes,
okay. So that is not even an area I will look at. I think that if people are unemployed, and again, maybe just a small digression, I will want people to move away from looking for employment into creating one. Okay. There are no jobs out there. It's sad, but that's what it is.
Okay.
If you look at the number of openings, whether it's new business or existing businesses, and the number of graduates that come out of our schools every year, people should start looking away from formal employment.
Okay. And start thinking of creating.
Start thinking of creating. Or if you are in your final year and you have 3 or 4 friends, come together and start looking at what you can do. That is a small scale. Let's say that it will be your stopgap before you get into. I was talking to 2 guys who came to me, 2 very good friends, and they all came to me and they said they were unemployed.
Your friends?
No, they are not my friends.
Okay.
2 young men.
Surprised.
2 young men. If somebody is my friend that is my age and the person is unemployed, the person really has a problem. Because if you are in your 40s and you are unemployed, then when will you get employment and go on retirement? It means that you have overstayed. Now, the 2 young men, they are all in their early 20s. And they told me they are unemployed. I should pray for them. I said, okay, I'm going to pray for you, but do you have savings? This one said yes. Do you also have savings? This one said yes. I asked them how much money. This one said he has, I think, 13,000 cedis in savings. This one said he has about 12 or 11,000. I've forgotten. But something similar to or close to. I told them, so you know what? You're already in business. You are friends. You are pushing for each other to get employment. You guys, this week, this one will sleep in this one's house. Next week, this one. So you are buddies. Do you know what I want you guys to do? I said, no, dog, that's why we came. I said, okay, put your money together. Go and buy an Uber car. Let one work with it during the day. Let one work with it during the night. Whilst you wait to be gainfully employed. They started it last month. And they came to thank me about a week ago. Because now, during the day, this one is pushing. And they are making a lot of money. It's their own money. So I told them, make sure that you recoup your investment. So if it's 13, if it's 12, make sure everybody gets their 13 and the 12, then you start sharing the profit. That's what I mean. You can come together as friends. Not every friend, you shouldn't do that with every friend. There are people who are very greedy. I'm not talking about those kind of people. But if you have a like-minded friend, you can pull resources together and do something quite meaningful. Okay. Or, I mean, in a nutshell, people should stop looking for jobs and start creating jobs.
Okay.
And there are so many opportunities around us. So many opportunities.
I
keep telling people that if I want to really, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday I was telling somebody that what has really limited me from doing what I really want to do is ministry. Because everywhere that I move, I see businesses that I can pursue.
And ministry has limited.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Is it the nature of the business or just that you won't have time?
All of them. Some of them you need time. Some of them too, it won't be. I will be, say, in the same market with people that are that you pray for and you advise and you want to help. So because there are some things that they are not doing. I was talking to a young man, and then he lives in his father's house. The father is long gone, the only child, looking for job. They live on an acre. They have a big compound at the backyard. I said, are you serious? Why don't you, with even this little money, why don't you start catfish farming? Do you know how much money you'll make? So I helped him to set it up. No, what I mean is that there are a lot of opportunities, and all those things have ready markets. You can do crab farming, you can do snail farming, there are so many farms that you can do. Backyard, you don't need big spaces. And you'll make a lot of money in it.
2 weeks ago, after our discussion, a friend of mine who watches you, but he's not in church, says that, Osofo, tell your father, the way he's wise and smart and deep, he makes it look as if everybody should be on that level. And it's not that easy. Is it? But listening to you, it looks as though it's that easy. But there are many businesses that start and they fail because, of course, they got the encouragement, they got the leads that, okay, try and do this. They were pushing it through, but it just didn't work out. Is that not the reality too on the ground? What do the young
businesses
people
that do not work out?
Yeah.
Sometimes the commitment wasn't there.
The commitment.
And I've noticed that with a lot of young people. If you want to do a business, oftentimes you have to lose some friends, because some, in quote, friends time you won't have. The times that you can go out there, sit, have conversations, you are very busy with it. You can't keep both, especially when you are nursing. And you have to always look at startups as a nursery. It needs more time and attention. Okay. A lot of people want to have their normal life and still, it doesn't work that way.
But is it like that with every business person that built a business?
Every business. All the businesses that if you see people build business from the scratch, ask them. It needs more time, attention, and dedication. It's serious. It takes your time. You can ask, you don't have a child. You are not married. So you won't understand what I'm going to say. You are not married.
I will try now.
This year you said you are getting married.
Yes, but yeah. So, well, let's move on. Well, folks, that was on a lighter note.
It's not light.
With my father here. And
no, what I mean is that
example,
when people, when they have a baby, you can ask the mothers. If you are not mindful, your husband will be complaining that all your attention is now for the baby.
Okay.
That's how you should see a business. When you have a business at first, all your attention should be on there, because your husband is okay, he can move about.
Okay.
But the baby needs care.
Okay.
So you need to give that baby business all the attention it requires.
And you think the younger generation do not?
A lot of people don't. Not all. A lot of people don't. They don't give it the needed attention. They don't pay attention also to the details of the business.
The details.
The fine details of the business. You need to be considerate of all of that. And not only that, you have to also learn the principles of plowing back.
Okay, but take us through that a little bit.
As the monies are coming, you don't spend it. You push it back into the business.
Okay.
Give yourself some time. Don't even be looking at profit. Only look at expansion. Because a lot of them, their minds are only on the profit. Oh, if I buy this, put this here, I sell, I get 10 cedis. Don't start looking at profit. Start looking at expansion. How do I move it from A to B, B to C, C to D? Do all of that. So those are some of the things that you should be looking at.
Someone is...
Nobody is laughing at you yet.
Oh, they are. So if you, but people, I think some people still want to find out with regards to the programs they've studied. They think that they need that a lot. For example, now it's common knowledge to know that, of course, we all say that a first degree is more or less like,
I guess
almost like it's lost that kind of edge. So you need to. Should everybody after their first degree get that inclination to get a master's or?
I'll say that if you
to
finish your
anything?
first degree, don't look at even pursuing your master's after your bachelor's. You should look at probably starting a business.
Papa, you are a PhD holder.
Oh.
You are you teach at the graduate school. And,
no, what I mean,
you think that
okay,
that's what people should
do. So you see, we enroll a lot of people for MBAs, masters in business administration, but they don't understand business.
Okay.
I would say that in those times, people who were doing masters in business were people that were already in business that wanted to know how they should manage their businesses.
That's right. Okay.
Now people do masters because they are unemployed and they are just whiling away time with a second degree.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
If you have an opportunity to start a business, grow with a business, get first-hand information, get your hands on it, then enroll in a master's program so that you can come back with a master touch.
Wow.
You get it?
That's quite profound.
So if you don't have anything doing and you have $20,000, $30,000 for a master's, I would say that if you can, use your $30,000 to start a business. And in 5 years, go and do your master's. Because in 5 years, your business would have grown such that even the profits from your business will pay your fees. And you find the brilliant students in your class who didn't have the wisdom that you had, and you employ them. And they call you boss.
Wow. My very good friend Daniel says that now everybody is doing their master's program. Okay, now everybody is doing their masters for job security. It's like he's a banker.
A lot of of course. He is already in a field. They do that because sometimes they even require that for promotion. That is a different ballgame altogether. The people who are in formal employment. I was talking about people who want to move into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Like I said, if we are churning out about 10,000 graduates every year, and it's more than that, UCC will do about 5,000-6,000. Gimpa, UPSA, Legon, Tech, Wisconsin, Central. In fact, all the universities, Regent, all the universities. If they are all churning out a lot of graduates, where are the jobs? So I'm talking about people going into entrepreneurship, starting their own brand, starting their own businesses, and pushing it. Maybe we have to look at that, because the truth is that people who start business, a lot of the people who start businesses don't have patience.
Okay.
They don't know that a baby that doesn't start talking because you've given birth.
Okay.
It takes some time. Nurture, pampering, caregiving, and all of that before the child gets to a place or a stage in his life or in her life that you can send him or her.
So patience is also another ingredient.
It's crucial.
We need to. Wow. So you spoke about commitment. You've spoken about patience as well. That people really need to get committed and not expect that you're going to have the same time that as they used to have with friends and all that. When
you start business, you lose. If you are going to stay committed to your business, you lose some good friends.
Wow. Okay.
Not bad friends, some good friends, because you won't make the time.
Okay.
Some of them will have the wisdom to understand that it's a startup, so it needs time, and they will come around. But sometimes you lose them for good.
That's right. Wow. Okay. I think I've got someone who is trying to sympathize with me. He says that now God's time is the best. You'll be married and have children soon. Amen. I say amen to that. Thank you for
a person is not normal. How can you tell an old man like this God's time is the best? Now he has moved past God's time. He is now in his time. Encouraging.
Okay, all right. So, okay, someone was just trying to also ask from Mickey Jr. wanted to ask how you are able to find time to upgrade all your business. Papa, please, how do you find time to upgrade all your business?
Oh, no, maybe you see, when you tell people that I do a lot of businesses, they think that I handle all the businesses myself. Let me clarify that.
Okay.
One of the definitions of management by Fayol, one of the founding fathers of management principles and all of that, it says that management is getting things done through other people or other hands.
Yes.
That's the basic definition. I think it was about 1876 or something of management.
Yeah.
The power of delegation is so crucial if you want to do multiple businesses.
Okay. In multiple businesses.
You have to find trusted hands, competent hands to run. So most of the things that you say that I do, and truly I do,
Okay.
and you know some of them, there are people running them.
Yeah, people running it. Okay.
It's not that I
You
am
are always
micromanaging. No. That's not what I do. So I sit at the zenith of it. I'll look through your financials, check your strategies. Now we can make new gains and do all of that. But really, it's not that I do all those things by myself. That would make me a Superman.
Wow.
I have to divide myself by 100.
Okay. So for people who have multiple businesses,
They
the
should
key
delegate.
ingredient is delegation.
They should delegate. Find trusted hands.
Okay.
So that, and pay them well. Give them better conditions of service. One of the things that makes people, good people, to become bad or thieves is poor conditions of service. A person is killing himself, killing herself, and you don't pay him well. And so if you don't pay him well, if you have 2, he will tell you that it's 1.5. And you hold on to the 0.5.
That's right.
But if you pay them well, and I keep saying this also all the time, get to the place where, especially if some people are working for you, you've delegated, give them share in profits.
Okay.
Even if they don't have shares in your business, give them shares in profits.
Okay.
That if at the end of the year, if we make profit of 100,000 after tax, 100,000, let's say you have 20,000, it will push them
Okay.
to aside their
Aside their
salaries
salary.
and all of that. It will
Wow.
push them to do more.
Wow.
So you should have proper compensation packages
Wow.
and proper conditions of service. Then people will work for you.
Wow. Unfortunately, I wish I could. There are more questions coming through. Unfortunately, time. Okay, well, let's take this last one from Nana Jekumwa. She's saying that, Doc, would you need to organize, a seminar? I think she's asking that if you could organize a seminar called Nuggets of Business or Knowledge of
I
Wisdom.
think I want to do that. I really want, and not just me. I want to do that and bring together some sharp minds, business minds, people who have done it, people who had their struggles. Let them tell you their story. I really want to put together things like that. I wanted to start some things. I told you about even man-to-man, that I want to start it even next year. There are some things that I want to start. I was going to mention the name I had given to it, but I let me just hold on to that. But there are things that we want to do, and bring together people and help them, because I will want to see, and that's the only way out for the African entrepreneurship.
You seem to be very convinced in that.
No, it's the way to go. You see, what will bring Africa emancipation is industrialization. If the governments are not leading that move, the citizenry can.
Okay. And industrialization in this context also does it go with entrepreneurship as well?
Of course. Okay. Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
That is our way out.
The way out for Africa. I quite remember, I think, was it last year? Last year, the finance minister of Ghana said that I think government, there is no jobs.
Space.
I think no space in the job market as far as government. So what I mean is that if that was what you were looking forward to, there is no space.
That's right. And you have to.
Are you going to sit down and say, because there is no space, I'm just waiting for death to take me away? No, you have to get to that place where you you create your own space.
And entrepreneurship
is the new wave. And I believe that we are going to organize something like that. It's not just going to be me as the resource person. I think I'll bring together a few people who have done business, who know, people who will know the challenges of startups.
Wow, okay.
And also help you to sustain and grow a business.
Wow, okay. We look forward to that. So from Nana Jekumwa, you heard Dr. Michael right there. He's going to put something like that together, hopefully in the coming years. I keep having questions coming through, but unfortunately the time is also up. But let me just try and then squeeze these two questions in one so that we can have Papa answer them. The first one is from Maxwell. Maxwell is saying that, how do I get investors for a project which is going to help the whole country? I've been featured on Fox, Market Watch, Digital Journal, GH1 Pulse, Ghana, etc. I'm not getting investors, but the timeline is also almost done. What should I do? He has a project.
You should see
I think
me.
this one, I think yes, yeah, Maxwell, you need to, maybe after the program, you can send us a message, private message, and then we need to make an arrangement so that you see, because it's something that is quite elaborate that needs further discussion. And then this one is also from Jessica. Jessica is asking that, said that he wanted to ask if she can start a business while in the formal sector and wait till the business is in good standing before I resign. Yeah, I think obviously, yeah.
Well, maybe she has no passion or no job satisfaction where she is.
Where she is, of course. Yeah.
If she has job satisfaction, she doesn't need to resign. All the businesses can be big at the same time. A business can be big and she can still be in the formal sector. Because sometimes being in the formal sector will give you the links and the contacts that will feed your private business.
Wow, okay.
So we have to look at that. Not just, I think it's a great area. If you are somewhere, you can look at probably, it's because of where you are, that you had the idea that this can be done.
Yeah.
So you can have that and still have the right contacts and links for the business that you call private.
Okay. Wow, that's very deep. Folks, unfortunately, time has just caught up with us. Today we've been looking at quite a number of things, but primarily on building capacity still, but we were making emphasis on upgrades and updates. Papa is taking us through, is taking a lot of details into so many things. I'm sure most of your questions that you sent have been answered. Yes, if there are further questions, you could still send them anyway. Hopefully next week we'll get Papa to attend to them for you. Thank you very much for being part of it. We're going to have him talk to us, maybe in summary, before we finally go. Maybe some of you are still in a fix. Maybe you have a question still on your mind. We are praying that as he speaks finally, we are going to have that answer. So, maybe your closing remarks, upgrade and update, which means that it's more or less like it's something that is inevitable once you want to stay in business or in
stay
academia,
relevant. Yeah,
stay relevant.
definitely.
Something that is.
What I want to say is that society keeps on evolving, and so you have to evolve with the evolving times.
You have to keep evolving with the evolving times.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'll say.
Wow. So if you choose to,
if you don't evolve, you'll perish. Because there are only two sides. It is either you flourish or you perish. You only flourish when you evolve. If you don't evolve, you perish.
I know the time we are up already, but please, what does it mean to evolve? Just this one personally for myself.
If it's personal, then we do that after off camera. But I mean, you evolve. Like I said, society keeps on changing.
Okay.
So when society is changing, you change with the changing times. If at first, like we said, you're using the comb and the blade. When society moves on and people are more health conscious, you use the machine. Not only use the machine, you know that you need a sterilizer.
Okay.
You need to use the hot towels and all of that.
Yeah.
So what I mean is that as the times are changing, you don't stay in, for me, this is what I know, this is how we do it, and this is how we have been doing it. And if you, evolve with the evolving times. If you don't evolve, you perish.
Wow. If you don't evolve, we perish. That's a word, something that you can muse on. It's been very exciting and very educative as well. I've learned a lot, and I believe you have as well. Thank you so much for being part of it. Make it with us same time next week. when we come your way with another discussion to speak about the business ecosystem. It's something that he would want to also enter into and teach us about, God willing, next week. So don't miss it for anything. Thank you for being part. Many thanks to the technical team and for everyone that has been a part of the program. Bye-bye from here. My name is Nana Poku. God bless you. See you next week.